All right, welcome back to Off the Tap. This week is episode 102, and we're doing King of the Hells from Back Pew Brewing Company.
Dude, did I tell how tempted I am to do that every time? I think I said that. Yeah,
Oh,
King of the
buddy.
King of the Hell is Back Pew. We've done some other Back Pews, right? We're local here, border,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's here in the Houston area. We have done I think two other beers
Yeah, we
from
have,
Back Pew.
and we've talked about how awesome, and we still have yet to go. Damn it! But how awesome the actual venue itself looks, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out, by the way, to Back Pew. I don't know if they did this on everything, but we've got the I'm gonna run through the stats on this one because it's right here on the
Okay.
can.
All right.
Dude, we get a 4.5, so it's a lager. We get a 4.5 ABV and a 24 IBU right
Yep.
here on the can. Right here on the can. Thank you for not sending me on a wild goose chase to what is it? What
Untapped.
Untapped to get some bogus ass answer of what the IBUs and the alcohol content was 7 years ago when somebody posted it for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for putting it right there for us. Yes, we have done the Satire's Swill and the Blue Testament.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've had the Hyperlight and I've had some of the other ones,
yeah.
but they're all pretty good.
And yes, we've talked about this place multiple times because it looks like a pretty cool spot. I've also had people tell me that I need to go to this place. And considering it's about 45 minutes from my house, I have no excuse not to go. Um, we just haven't gone. I haven't been able to go. But it is a cool looking place.
It is, and then obviously it goes without saying, King of the Hell is it is a play on King of the Hill. We're going to get into that a little minute
Mhm.
in a
And
minute, but
it is marketed as such.
oh yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious. I don't know. Real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and do a can crack. I don't know. Not much. I mean, the branding on the can is nice. Is this a limited edition?
I don't think so. Um, this is
God
just kind of
forbid we
like,
know.
well,
Anyways,
no, it is a seasonal. It is a seasonal.
okay, but
Okay.
it's every season.
Yes, this is listed under their seasonals on their website.
Gotcha.
And it has a big old excerpt here. What did you pronounce it Hellas?
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
I have no idea. I was gonna look that up.
Okay. Because I just assume with the marketing of it that it was Hells, like King of the Hells. But
Possibly.
you know, um, it says here that the King of the Hells is our new Texas style Hells beer. This light beer uses all Texas grown malted barley from Tex Malt in Fort Worth. A blend of Pilsner and Munich malts makes this beer lighter and brighter on the front of the palate and gives it a rounded sweetness on the back. We finished the beer hot side with Hallertau Blanc and Mandarina Bavaria hops to give it a citrusy flavor. This beer is so crisp and refreshing. The only thing you'll want to say is, "Yep."
Yep.
Look for it in grocery stores and your favorite watering hole around the greater Houston area.
Yeah. So I think it is hell. It's
Okay.
technically king of the like it's
Oh, it's
hell.
not even an
It's
S. It's just hell.
hell. I believe.
Okay.
It's a traditional German pale lager beer produced chiefly in southern Germany, particularly Munich. The German word hell can be translated as bright, light, or pale. It's kind of fitting.
Okay. Well, yeah, bright light, pale. That makes sense.
It's yeah. The branding, at least on the website, is a propane accessory for all your summer barbecue needs, made with all Texas malt.
That's good.
Yep.
That's good.
Um.
You know what could have worked also is if they do like a one off and they just design this can as a propane tank. What if they made
Yes,
them in little propane tank shapes?
they could. That would be
Oh,
sweet.
that'd be awesome.
First off, I don't want to be because again, I have no idea, but obviously it's King of the Hill branded. I mean, like King of the Hill is the motif. But is it brewers that are on the can? Because I'm not gonna lie, this looks like a fucking Equate version
Yeah.
of the
I
King of the Hill.
I
You know
think
what I mean?
it's either brewers or like staff there or something.
Again, I don't want to trash talk them, but it's like if you ordered. It's like if remember when people used to buy like bootleg DVDs. This looks like a bootleg DVD of season one of King of the Hill, and somebody had to draw the fucking artwork on the front.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Someone made it their own.
Yeah, like the Wish.com King of the Hill version, kind of.
Yeah.
But
It's a YouTube special.
except for Boomhauer, like if there's a guy that is brewing over there that looks that close to Boomhauer, then yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty Boomhauerish.
But the other ones are way out of bounds, dude.
Oh yeah. But the artwork is there, the fence is there, everything else is on par.
Yep.
I got to tell you one thing here. I got
Hmm.
into it, and I'm not gonna. Yeah, yep.
I did.
I
Go ahead.
I got to tell you one thing. I got into it. I've tasted it, but it's not about the taste. I don't know what is going on in with our little like front fridge. We have like a little small fridge
Yeah,
out in
your
our
beer
like
fridge,
mud
basically.
room, right? Yeah, it's basically my beer fridge.
Yeah.
Um, ice freaking cool. Have you ever been to Twin Peaks to get a beer?
Okay. Yes, but I'm gonna. Yeah, like you're gonna tell me like it's the coldest fucking beer you ever had in your life.
No, I'm just telling you, imagine that coldness. That's what I'm getting right
Okay,
now from this beer.
then kudos to that little baby fridge because your shit does stay super super cold. My experience at every Twin Peaks I've ever had has been lukewarm room temperature.
Oh, really? That's so
Yeah,
unfortunate.
I have not had, unfortunately, I have not had a good Twin Peaks experience, not food or beverage, not even at
Mm,
all. And I thought it because they kind of got, I don't want to say got popular, but when we lived in Dallas, that's when they were kind of like, at least when I remember coming on the scene, or at least when we discovered them. Both of the locations there, terrible. And then even the one here, hot beer, not
oh
good
man,
food.
that's not the experience I've had here.
And
Although
that's so crazy
I
to me.
haven't been in like 5 years. So no, I haven't been in 3 years.
Yeah, just I mean, not a great experience for me. So when you say that, I think like because that used to be a Hooters thing. I mean, and it's so funny that they
The
fall in the same thing.
ice
But
cold beer.
yeah, dude, they would put bags of ice in the pitcher.
Oh no, I don't. Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
No, that I would get draft beer from Twin Peaks, and it would have ice on the top.
yeah. That's how. Yeah, I mean, that was I believe you, but I have not had that Twin Peaks experience, and we didn't set out today to run Twin Peaks all the way in the ground where it
No,
maybe it deserves to be. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but I just
I mean I'll tell you
we
what
didn't set out on
they
that.
got a great club sandwich, um, and I mean good. Everything else is good. It's not nothing incredible, but dollar PBRs last time that I
Ooh.
went, yeah, dollar
See, I'll drink
PBR
them. I'll drink them
shorts.
hot for that price.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
do-
Yeah.
dollar PBR shorts, $2 talls.
Whoa.
Yeah,
It only costs twice as much to play double.
yeah, exactly. So and that's what I would get, and it would be ice cold, and you could go and drink 4 beers for $4. So you know what I mean?
Is there a there's no place like that on earth. Well, obviously there's one place, but um is King of the Hill doing a revamp? I keep seeing dude, you want to talk about teasers.
Yeah,
Dude, of all the things that get teased more than Twister and a Twister,
more than twist. They got teased more than Twister.
yeah, like remember how the Twister teasers of like Twister 2 or Twisters or whatever, those teasers have been out for like 10 years. There's
Oh,
another one that Back to the Future. They tease that one a lot. Um, like a Back to the Future 4.
I
And
don't think
then
I've ever seen that.
I see little teasers I don't know if they're legit or if it's just AI making them, but I see King of the Hill revamp teases all the time.
I heard
All the time.
somewhere that there was talks to bring it back.
I mean, do you think that would be a good thing or a bad thing?
If it keeps its charm, it's not a bad thing.
I
And
don't
also
remember.
and also how Like, how long are we planning to bring it back? You know what I mean? Uh, because
Holy crap.
because I don't
It
just want it to
is.
come back, just to come back.
It is a King of the Hill is coming back in 2025 on Hulu.
Oh my god!
Development progress suggests a potential release date, although it could be delayed depending on ongoing adjustments and production needs.
Wow, wow.
Holy
Next
cow.
year, dude.
I don't even want to know. I'm not even super impressed by some of the like teasers or some of the graphics, but I'm a little concerned. Like I don't know. You guys go check it out and you tell us what you think. But
What do you
I'm
mean?
pumped
Does it
up.
not look the same?
I mean, I don't know. I get weird Bobby vibes because he turned out
Yeah,
to be like he looks now and turned out to be exactly what he was gonna be when he grew up. But like we didn't ever want it to come to fruition, kind of thing.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Bobby is grown up in what's coming out.
Yeah. But the thing that's funny is that Hank still looks the same exact age, which is fine. Because I mean, let's be
Well, I
honest.
mean, let's be honest. He really always kind of looked 60, anyways.
Yeah.
So and then they all kind
Um.
of did. So
Damn it.
damn it, Bobby.
I just love that there's certain things. Anyways, we don't have to because I know we've talked a lot about
Yeah, we talked about the what
um
ifs of if it did come back.
yeah, I think so it is coming back, but and I do think that they probably heard our podcast is what they did.
You know what they probably did? They were
And
probably
Mike
like,
Judge was like, you
if
know
there's
what?
if there's an episode where a Tesla rolls up next door or in the neighborhood, and there's an entire episode about that, I'm calling somebody. This is
Do
bull
you
crap.
do you think that would hold up in court? Like, do you think we could be like, I mean, obviously we didn't copyright it, but do you think that would hold up in court if like there was enough of a storyline that followed our guidance and
We
they
had a release date before it was written.
yeah, yeah.
Probably not because we don't have it copyrighted. I mean, I don't have a story copyrighted. I just talk.
Also, maybe he would just reach out, like he would just hear it later on, like into the first season and be like, bro, we need some writers, is what we need.
Y'all wanna hop on board?
Yeah. And they were like, we'll pay you
Oh
a
man,
small salary of $4 million. I don't know what they're gonna make
could
on that
you
thing,
could
but
you imagine if okay, we're not gonna get into this super deep, but if there was an episode where he had a podcast.
yeah. And then we were just on it.
And no. Well, no, not that we were on it. Just in general, he has a podcast. I'm not really talking about the fact that like we somehow have created an episode. I'm just talking about in general. Like, what the hell would he talk about?
Who, Bobby?
Yeah,
Oh, dude.
or
I'm
any
telling you,
of them.
he
What if instead of sitting by the fence drinking, they were just recording a podcast drinking?
or if they do throwbacks to like the whole when COVID was going through or whatever, and like they're all on like what was that house party or whatever the fuck it, like the apps that people were using to
Oh
still
yeah,
hang out with people or whatever.
yeah.
Hmm.
They're not
Yep.
standing sitting next to each other by the fence. They're sitting 6 feet apart. Mm-hmm. What was that? Mm-hmm.
You're
Just
on mute. Um,
louder.
but
Yeah.
the other thing that would be crazy. One last thing. I just don't want certain things about it to change. Like I
Yeah.
hate. I don't want to say I hate, but did you see um did you see that '90s show?
I did not because I heard the horrible reviews for it.
Okay, so yeah, not all that great, but like it is what we thought it was. It is, who do you think you are? I am. You remember that guy?
Who do you think you are? I
I am.
am.
Anyway, um, but they revamped the intro, like the song.
Oh, for that '90s show.
Yes, and I feel, and it's the same words, but it's like the '90s version of it. And
Okay.
so I fear if the King of the Hill reboot does that, I'm out, dude. It has to be that ding 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 ding, but the OG one,
Yeah.
you know that
If
because
it's
that
if it's still King of the Hill, like here's the thing: is it still gonna follow? Is it gonna follow Bobby instead? Is
I don't
my
know. There's not
worry.
enough. There's not enough teasers out there for me to really tell at this point. I just see
You
like
know,
still images.
I don't want Hank to just be like the grandpa.
Yeah, I don't either. And
You know.
periodically pop in, like it needs to be him fighting with all of the shenanigans of
Yes.
his internal battles versus the external world.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what it needs to be.
oh, this is way off topic, but and unplanned, but like this makes me think of it because I think that the King of the Hill has one of those iconic intro songs. There's a bunch of them. You know what I mean? I would say almost every good series, but like in my mind, there's probably four intros that are just burned into my like when you hear them, I know it's a certain time of day. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
When you hear these four theme songs, it's a certain time of day. And then I'm going to ask you to name some. But like for me, King of the Hill is like that like prime time, but everybody's eating dinner kind of time, like that
Okay.
6:30 to 7ish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? And then for again, Cheers wasn't like Cheers for me is like that 8:30 ish, 9 o'clock ish.
PM.
Yep. Oh yeah, dude. What the fuck
Okay.
happened in the morning? And then you know it's like fucking midnight when you hit MASH. I don't know. Maybe that's because it was syndicated, but like, dude, when you hear that MASH theme song, you know you're like, oh shit, I've stayed up way too late. Okay.
All right.
And then Friends also hits me at that 7. It's like they're in this order. It's like King of the Hill, and they weren't all on together, but King of the Hill, Friends, Cheers, and then MASH. That's the
Okay.
natural order of what time of day it is.
All
Do you have
right.
another one?
Well, boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. Yeah. That's like a 5 o'clock one for me right there. Seinfeld.
Yeah.
That's like when my dad was getting home from work with Sonic. Seinfeld was getting thrown on. But
This is
now,
all this by the way, this is all the second time around. Obviously, I wasn't around like I wasn't just like fucking killing MASH when it was in its prime, but and
right,
you're right.
the
But anyway.
reruns you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I think I associate Friends with the morning now because it's on TBS at like 8 a.m., 9
Is it
9 a.m.
really?
Yeah, it plays in the morning from around I think like 8 or 9 until like lunch, like just 3 hours of Friends every morning.
Did
And then
they did they
Seinfeld's right after, I think.
did they just run out of like things to fill that spot? And they were like, yeah, Friends could use a little more money.
Well, I don't know if it's during the weekends. I think it's just the weekdays. So they
Bro,
just throw
solid
reruns on.
emphasis.
Solid emphasis on what?
I don't know if it's like
The
the
weekends?
weekends, but is that one
Yeah.
word? Is that
It's
three?
not the
Anyway,
weekends, but the weekdays.
whoa.
Uh, um, because like most people are probably at work, so they're just throwing reruns on, I guess. But that's what I get now
Hmm.
from Friends. But I think like I mean, if you would have asked me back when I was younger, Seinfeld for sure is like my dinner. What I hear whenever I hear it, I think it's dinner time, basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
Seinfeld has that way. Yeah.
Late night would have been South Park, probably
Oh,
like
really? I
like
can't.
like 9 o'clock, maybe.
Yeah, and it has an iconic theme song, but I just
Come
don't
on down to
associate.
South Park, gonna have myself a good time.
Yeah, it's very
Everybody
iconic.
now, now. People shouting, howdy neighbor.
Yeah.
Um, and then I never, I never really watched like cartoons at night very much. Like late night, like Adult Swim type stuff.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I would hear Adult Swim, like Futurama, right? Like the
Hmm.
introduction to like Futurama or what was that like claymation one? Wasn't there like
Robot
Robot
Chicken?
Chicken? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
hear those and like I never watched them, but I remember them like coming on and I'd be like, "Oh, it's time for me to go to bed,"
I can't.
and
Yeah.
turn the TV
I
off
don't.
and go to sleep.
I don't think I could pick them out. Like if I heard, I mean, maybe I could if I heard the theme song, and it wasn't like, yeah, robot chicken, whatever. I can't remember, but I think I could pick those out, but they're not as like, dude, I could hear through like headphones and a pillow just the
Ooh.
vibrations of the MASH theme song, and I'd be
Oh
like, oh,
yeah.
I know what that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that like at least half the people that listen to this probably don't even know what MASH is.
Dude, I this is the thing. It's one of those shows where I mean, obviously it's old, and they can look it up and they can go watch it, but the theme song for MASH doesn't fit like
No, not at
the
all.
show at all. It is such a do 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 do, just this depressing like do do do. You're like, what the hell is this? Some type of like daytime soap opera, and then it's a semi comedic. You know, it's harsh reality of the Korean War, but it's semi comedic. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just that's the only thing that ever frustrated me. Like at least when you heard Cheers, you were like, oh, that's fitting,
Mm-hmm.
or Friends, or even King of the Hill. Yes,
That's
it
listen.
just
We gotta be honest. I think that might be one of the greatest bass lines of all time.
I know, and I told you I recently found out that it was played on the
It's
piano.
on a key. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on a keyboard.
Ah.
But it's still bass keys though. You know.
No, I
You
mean I get it.
you know what else was another one that was like a late night thing for me, and this is because I didn't watch the new episodes, but I would watch the reruns. Is The Simpsons.
Yeah, I did okay. The Simpsons to me, they always came on like right after something that was like, dude, they always had those
It
follow-up spots.
yeah, The Simpsons always came on right after like 60 minutes.
Yes,
You know
or
what I mean?
right after the Super Bowl, or like right after WWE back when it was WWE.
Oh yeah.
Or no, WWF, sorry, WWF. SmackDown, then it would just be the Simpsons afterwards.
Ba, 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 na, ba, 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 na,
Dun,
na,
dun,
na,
dun,
na.
dun, dun, dun,
Da, 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 da.
dun. Anyways, but yeah, dude, is the Simpsons still running? I'm assuming
Oh yeah. You know what? I was talking with my maybe was I talking with you about that? I think I was talking with another buddy about this, and he was
viewership. Oh my
we
god.
we were talking about like you know how back in the day the joke actually the South Park made this joke about like Simpsons did it, right? The Simpsons did it, or like
Yeah,
the Simpsons have done everything because they've been around for 40 freaking years or whatever it is,
yeah.
and they've predicted all this stuff, you
Hmm.
know. But now it's like now South Park is predicting stuff, and like
Is it really?
South well like South Park has made a lot of satirical jokes about a lot of things in society that are starting to happen, you know, just like
Yeah.
randomly. And so now people are like, now South Park did it. South Park
Uh,
did it, you know.
that
So
is 36 seasons.
it's just ridiculous.
Yep. So 1989 was when it premiered. Is it slowing down? I mean, what is the viewership got to be?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I never really watched a lot of episodes of it. We had like a VHS tape of like 4 episodes, I think, and I would
Yeah.
watch those over and over again. But and then the Simpsons movie, I've seen a lot, but
Yeah, I just never I don't know. I'm not against it. I just it never was like super awesome to me.
no, it was never that funny.
Yeah.
Never that funny. But every now and then there was like late night episodes on, and if it was on, I was like, well, I should probably go to sleep now, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Anyways, yeah, I it was just very interesting. I would I if they do it correctly and not with this discount crew that's on this can, but if they did it correctly,
hey man, I mean,
I think it,
it's probably the Brewers there, brother.
no, that's fine, dude. I mean, I respect it's damn good beer. We're gonna talk about
Yeah.
that later. Um, they deliver again, and I like the play on words, and I like it. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, you can tell it's Brewers because like one of them's tatted up like a bitch. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you know that's probably he's either in a kitchen somewhere or he brews beer. You know, or I mean, you know, these days just a normal person in society. So I'm gonna back up a second on that. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um all right, so we
Speaking of
have
tatted,
what
no, go
now?
ahead.
Yeah, no, that's a good one actually. Let's yeah. Post Malone has just released a new country album, and this man is just living the life.
Dude,
He really truly is. He hit the scene as a rapper, you know, and I he also was just kind of like making goofy music videos before then, like just for fun in high school. And then he released White Iverson, and people were like, "Oh, okay, he's good. This guy's good." And then just has been living life, and now he's just like riding horses and making music with Hank Williams Jr. At
and wearing tight Wrangler pants.
oh yeah, it's super like new like pop country, but
No, no, no. I mean, I'm not even making fun of the music. I'm just saying, like, he's legitimately wearing tight Wrangler pants, high waisted, tight Wrangler
oh
pants.
yeah, yeah, no, no, no. I mean, not a lot of the stuff is pop country on his. It's like new country, but I was just saying the tightness. Yeah,
Dude,
just making a joke about that.
I used to, I used to make, not like when he, I don't want to say when he first came out, but like when his rap stuff came out, Circles and all that, like, I would be like, when he kind of went poppy, I would be like, I can see the appeal, but I didn't necessarily love it. But I'm like, he's not bad. It's just not my style of music.
Yeah.
But pretty much anything that he does is pretty good. You
Oh
know what I
yeah,
mean? Dude,
yeah.
I saw the other day, I don't even know if this is recorded, but I saw a rendition of Them Bones by Alice in Chains, and it's just him doing a cover of Them Bones.
Mm,
Dude, it is fucking stellar.
yeah,
Stellar.
he's good.
Um, but and then obviously when during the whole COVID thing, when he was dressed up in the dress, drinking beer at that bar, and they did the whole all the Nirvana covers and all that stuff. The Moo Moo, it's not really a dress, but I guess it was a
Mm,
Moo Moo. And again, everybody's like, "Oh, this is gonna be stupid." It was killer. And then he did the same thing with like Brad Paisley. He just fucking doesn't care, like in a good way, doesn't care.
yeah, they're like, "What are you doing? What are you gonna do next, Post?" And he just goes, "Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah."
really. Like I just happened to be in town, and I
What
figured, I don't know, I'll go up there. And they're like, "Really? What do you
what
know about Madonna?"
what made you get on stage with the ghost of Michael Jackson? Well, I was in town. I just cracked open a beer. I was like, well, I mean, might as well, I guess.
Dude, speaking of
You
that,
know?
like what we need to pick some collabs that he should do. But yeah, dude, he's just out there living his life. He's just kind of like drunk and kind of post bar, like cigarette smoky all the time, but just
Yeah.
crushing it.
It is very funny to me though that he just has all of these face tats and he's just like just chilling on a horse, in a cowboy
Yeah.
hat
Oh,
and boots.
that is, it is a little weird, but that's like true to his root. He's from the bigger, better state, right?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he's from the Dallas area, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure, but it's just funny to me that he's like all tatted up on his face and then just this down bad, not down bad, down home country boy. I
I
was
don't.
I saw that same picture, sorry, of him on the horse, and it
Mhm.
was being compared to when he like back when he first got famous and first started rapping and whatnot, and he just looks so much happier now, man.
Yeah,
It's
he's
just
just
it's
living
like
his life.
because he's not trying to like be this rapper that he's like not. You know what I mean? He's gotten to the point in his career where he's just like, I can do whatever I want. He could probably show up to like, and I do not mean this as a joke to any Swifties out there. He could probably show up to a Taylor Swift concert and she'd be like, "Come
Bring
on,
him up.
let's
Yeah,
go."
I agree. And he has like a weird okay, for someone who does covers or that does a lot of like working with other artists, not on original content, he's always true to like the bones of the song,
Yeah,
but he has a little bit of his like he's not going to reinvent the wheel, which I think is what makes his covers so great. But when you listen closely, you can hear that little like I'm gonna call it like that little billy goat that happens to be in Malone's. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And so, but he work he manages to fit that in because he has to. That's the way that the vibrato that his voice naturally produces. He
Yeah.
manages to put that in regardless of what he's doing. It could be, Shania Twain or some shit like to Nirvana to like Metallica to like, Casey and the Sunshine Band, whatever he's covering. He's gonna be true to it, but like he'll fit that in there.
Yeah.
Um, but that brings me to another point. I mean, we can go on posting about Malone all the time, but it brings me to another point that I don't know this to be fact, but I'm starting to get some vibes of it, and I can't stand this fucking dude. But MGK is trying to go that same trajectory. Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't noticed that because I stopped really giving any attention to him like 3 years ago.
I
I mean, I
can't
never
stand.
really listened to his music, but uh,
I don't know if I've heard some of his original stuff, but like any of the covers that he tries to do, like Malone, it just fucking they're just terrible. They're terrible. And I'm like, why would anybody purchase, like, why would you? I mean, thankfully we don't have to purchase music anymore if you pay
or
your
would
monthly
you
fee or whatever.
choose to listen to that?
Yes, it's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that whole persona that he has going on in general, so I just
It's
kind
just
of
weird to
don't
me
really
that,
give the attention to him.
and I don't know necessarily who started for, but I think Malone's doing it just because he's probably just saying fuck it, just living his life. But it's okay. Like, I'm not saying that MGK doesn't deserve to be able to do it. I'm just saying that like it obviously looks like he's trying to do it, whereas Post Malone's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm here
Yeah.
already, so
Yeah. That's a really good point is like what other artists do you think on the face of the planet other than like Taylor Swift, right, who's kind of gone from genre to
okay.
genre.
Real quickly, using artist very fucking loosely there, but
Okay,
continue.
but gone from different genres to different genres, right?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if there's really another person that can do it as fluidly as Post Malone can do it.
Uh,
He literally went from rap, right, to like doing some R&B stuff, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, to like pop he's been in, to rock covers that he does, and now he's just released a country album. He
I
has covered a bunch of old country. Like he can do his, and I know a lot of singers can sing all kinds of
yeah.
range, right? Obviously they're talented, but I don't know if anybody could have the fan base follow the way that Post Malone has had his fan base follow.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has that success. Well, I don't know. Again, Taylor's uh, fan base followed, but I don't know. I don't know. I was trying to think of an example, but you can get like two or like maybe three, but you're not going to get straight rap, R&B, pop, rock, metal, country. You're not
Yeah,
going to do that full gambit. I mean, I thought of like people that had a bunch of there's people that have careers where they toe the line,
yeah.
you know, like excuse me, Ronnie Millsap, the Eagles, they were always kind of rock but kind of country,
Mm-hmm.
or like, I guess it would be like yacht
Southern
rock
rock
now or
or
something.
whatever.
Um Darius Rucker as an
Yeah.
individual, but not really. Like,
Yeah,
still only two things.
but here's my thing is like I'm not just talking about like solo music, right? Like Post Malone has not just gone and released like a pop album by himself or like a rock album by himself or a country album by himself. He gets some of the largest names in that space to do songs with him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there is another example. I mean, I
There was
recently
people I'm sorry, he released a song a few years ago with what's his name? I mean Black Sabbath. Uh,
Ozzy?
yeah, with Ozzy, man. I don't know why I couldn't
Yeah.
remember that. But there was people that started to say like, "Who is this Ozzy Osbourne guy?"
Oh, I heard. You know what? Somebody did that the other day. We were talking about this before when they were like, "Oh yeah, freaking who was it? Some rap artist was gonna put Paul." They were like, "Dude, he's gonna put that
Paul
Paul
McCartney.
McCartney dude." Yeah, dude, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, so I don't think that. But no, people aren't saying that about the people that Poster's working with, right? Or
No,
did they say that
I'm
about?
just, they did some, there was some people that were like, "Who is this Ozzy guy?"
Oh,
But everybody else is like, "He got freaking Ozzy on a song, bro.
yeah,
Nobody's gotten Ozzy on a song in years. Are you kidding me?" And
a
then
good
now he's
decade.
yeah, and now he's got this F1 Trillion album which he just released, and it's got, a lot of like the 2000s, 2010s country guys, but it's also got like Hank Williams Jr. on it and Dolly Parton.
Okay, so here's what I was gonna tell you. The yeah, I know. Here so okay. Not that she had a career like post yeah, okay. Let me she didn't have a career that spanned like the whole post Malone thing, but she did recently put out and respect a lot of respect. She did recently put out a new album where she does covers with the original artist.
Yeah.
Um and it's rock and it's R&B and it's country and it's all these different things. Like it's all over the pop, like all
Yeah.
over the place. Um, Mad respect to her. Obviously, she's up there in age. I thought it was a fucking terrible album. Like it is just terrible because I don't like any of her renditions.
Yeah.
But she has like a presence where it was okay or not okay, but she has a presence where she was capable of doing that. But that's fucking Dolly Parton,
Yeah.
not
The one of
Post
the
Malone. But
queens of country music, you know what I mean?
yeah,
It just blows my mind that he's able to do that. I mean, he's obviously done music with, some big rappers, some big pop stars as well. It just blows my mind that he continues to just do whatever he wants, and he can't keep getting away with it. He can't
yeah,
keep getting away with it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's kind of BS. It kind of sucks.
yeah.
I mean, it's BS, but I'm happy for him. You know?
I also hope. I mean, I don't know. Post. And I'm pretty sure he might be more. I don't know a lot about the guy. I just see from him from a distance, but he worries me a little bit because he's going to be. I don't want him to be one of those statistically one of those guys where you wake up one day and then you just get like a news of like suicide or something like that. Like I don't know what his mental health state is. It's probably not great. Just
I don't know.
looking at him, but
Obviously,
that
I don't
is
know him personally or anything,
personally.
but I remember there. I think it was like either before the pandemic or like during the pandemic. He had a daughter, and I think that like changed his. I think that's like why he kind of went down like this path of just doing whatever he wants. You know what I mean?
Like in a
Like
in a
doing,
healthy way though.
yeah, like doing what makes him happy type thing. You know what I mean? Uh, that's what it seems like at least, because he
Dude.
was just like he just looks so much happier, man. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I like the so it's I mean, we're not going to go down this hill. I'm going to have to do my own homework assignment this week is to read up on Austin Richard Post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do any of it now? I thought you were gonna just rip some
No,
off
I
right
don't
now.
think I don't think so. I mean, obviously he's born in 1995, making him 29 years old. He's from Syracuse, New York, originally.
Oh,
But his hometown is Grapevine, Texas.
yeah. Talks a
Um,
lot about the Dallas Cowboys because he is a Cowboys fan. I feel sorry for him in that sense. But he's seemingly happy with it. So
uh, okay, real quick. Trap, subgenre of hip hop pioneered by Atlanta rapper T.I. Jeezy and Gucci Mane. So he is no sorry, I had to go down another rabbit hole so that I could explain it to myself, but he was has gained his distinction and acclaim for blending of various genres including pop, hip hop, R&B, and trap.
and
Um,
trap.
his stage name was derived by putting his birth name into an online rap name generator.
There is no shot that's how he got his rapper name.
That's what it
That's
said.
like, you know, those like posts on Instagram where it's like get your Harry Potter Wizarding World name, or like
Yeah.
get your rapper name and it's your first initial and your last initial. That's what he did.
Yeah.
And now he's known as Post Malone.
Yeah. He was raised by his father, Richard Post, and his stepmother, Jody.
Also,
Just normal people.
just
Yep.
Richard and Jody. Also,
Yep.
just seems like such a nice guy. We'll move on here in a second, but
Yeah, I'm
he
sorry.
just such like a nice guy. Like every video I see of him like meeting fans. He's just like, "Oh hey, what's going on? It's so
Yeah.
nice to meet you."
Oh, so nice.
It's so,
Um,
what was that? It's,
that it's a meme of him, but he's like just
oh,
high or drunk somewhere, and they show
oh,
him something. He goes, "Oh yeah, brother, that's nice."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah. Anyways,
Oh,
yeah, dude,
hmm.
just he's the like we a lot. Okay,
I
we're gonna
think
move
he,
on. We're gonna move on, but
you know,
we talk a lot about how like, or at least I do. I think maybe my mindset like these are the best of times, but also these are the worst of times. Just
yeah,
to be in the world, I think they're better today than they've ever been. But like also, there's some darkness that plagues us.
yeah,
But this is a key example of like being young and being good at being a bright spot amongst all the funk. So we talked about the fact that, rap name generator, that shit didn't happen back in the OG days because there was not such a thing. Also, he credits his interest in wanting to learn how to play the guitar from playing the game Guitar Hero. Which for many, many generations before, and I'm not making fun of him. I'm just saying like people bitch about Guitar Hero, people bitch about rap name generators, people bitch about YouTube personalities. Like he's checking a lot of boxes and he's not a piece of shit, I think, for the most part, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Anyways,
What made you want to learn the guitar? I played a lot of Guitar Hero.
exactly. Look, dude, he expressed his affinity for alternative rock music and appeared as a DJ at Emo Night in Los Angeles, California. I mean, dude, I'm just saying. Dude's just all over the place. Good guy, supposedly. I hope that he's a good human being. I don't have anything that lends to the narrative that he's not, that I
Yeah,
see, right?
me either. Not seen anything bad.
It's not going to be a situation where he comes out as like an Ellen 20 years from now, right?
Oh
Where
God, I
he's
hope
just a
not.
fucking terrible person,
I hope not.
you know? Okay.
I hope not. We got another big thing happening. After this, the
Big.
weekend of this episode releasing, I guess, is Labor Day weekend. Um, we've talked a lot extensively in the past about probably what we've eaten on Labor Day. We're not going to get into that because we always get into food on the podcast here, so
Yeah.
we're going to not do that. But
We're here to
I
right
don't,
our wrongs.
I can't remember if we have discussed or not whether there is something in particular that we do for Labor Day. I know we've done this for other holidays, but is there something that you always do on Labor Day or no?
No, I mean, it's not consistent. There's no tradition, if you will, or predetermined activity that I'm completing on Labor Day. I'm gonna be honest with you. Labor Day sneaks up on me. I always, which is stupid to say because it's always the first weekend of September, but
Yeah.
it just sneaks up on me. I don't really pay attention to it a lot. We don't really do Labor Day sales. Like we don't really. No, I mean the answer is like very anticlimactic.
You
There's not a.
know, Labor Day is one of those holidays that kind of I feel like should have a sale.
It does. It has a shitload of sales.
Oh.
Yeah, but like we just don't do that. Like we don't participate in them. Like
Oh.
I just.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, also historically, I've always worked somewhere where we worked on Labor Day, so
Yeah.
it's not like for us, it wasn't really like a celebratable holiday, I guess, kind of thing.
Yeah. I guess that's a good point. I originally when I think of Labor Day now, I just think like is there anything I like I don't think I really do anything in particular each year. But I do remember growing up that we would always go on the lake. Now that I'm thinking about
Yeah,
it.
I would say it's probably like we talked about this a little bit before, but like Memorial Day kicks off the summer
Yeah.
and Labor Day kind of closes it. I know you're already
Yeah.
back in school, but for us, it was like the last time. You're right. When we were younger, it'd be the last time we would get, not the last time we'd go to the lake, but the last like busy lake
Yeah,
weekend.
where like a lot of people were out. Where
Yeah.
like if you were gonna go to lunch, you needed to either be there first or wait out the crowd. You know what I mean?
Oh, like at a place on the lake, you mean?
Yeah, like if you were going to lunch on the lake.
Yeah,
Um,
that is true.
uh, but yeah, I think like now I feel like people think Labor Day and they think like getting together and barbecuing and stuff, but like that's not even a thing for like in my mind, Labor Day is just kind of like and it's just like an extended weekend. I'm just kind of using it to like chill.
I I know, and I feel bad. Well, for me too, it doesn't hold the it just doesn't hold. Obviously, we didn't grow up. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh here, but like, it just doesn't hold the meaning that like Memorial Day does, or that
Yeah.
4th of July. Like, I'm sure had I grown up when like you know labor was a little more forced and indentured and things of that nature, then I maybe I'd have more respect for it. But like, I don't know, a lot of people in trade unions got together in like the 1800s and they were like, "Hey, we need one day for ourselves." Like, why didn't they fight for a fucking week or like a
We need
month or something? You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah. There's not a lot to ask for back then, I guess, you know.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to go too far off the rails. I don't want to be offensive. Like, thank you. I mean, I'm sure it meant a lot to those people, and it's important. And it's a holiday, but like, I just
I,
little
I
little
mean,
disconnected, far disconnected.
but I mean, is it a holiday though, you know?
I,
Or is it, you know what I mean?
it's a
Like
day of
I'm
reflection. I don't.
I guess, you know, I've never really
Yeah.
understood it. Um Also, is it American? Like, you know what I mean? I
Um.
feel like a lot of people always fly American flags and stuff and I'm like, I don't think I'm sure it's like
Uh.
an American thing, but
So
like
yes, it's kind of triggered by. Okay, here we go. Beginning in the late 19th century, as the trade union and labor movements grew, trade unionists proposed that a day be set aside to celebrate labor. Yet again, the only flaw in this situation is day,
mm,
one day, huh? We had to form a union to protect our rights as human beings. We're asking for one day. I just feel like they cut themselves short, dude. I'd have made it a fucking summer, like a whole fucking season
give it
of
we
off
need
days.
listen, the kids get out of school for June and July. We
Nope,
need
nope. See, I'm gonna disagree with you because I know where you're going with this, but no, 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 no. My proposal would be the kids are out of school June through September. Fuck it, I'm working that straight. Work me on Saturdays too. I don't give a shit. And then as soon as they go back to school,
yeah.
I'm off for the next 3 months. Is that
That's
where
what I
you're
was
going?
gonna
That's
say.
okay. Good. I'm
Yeah.
glad you were going that way.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, give me September and October, baby.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, it was promoted by the Central Labor Union and Knights of Labor, which organized the first parade in New York City. In 1887, Oregon was the first state of the United States to make it an official public holiday. By the time it became an official federal holiday in 1894, 30 states in the U.S. officially celebrated Labor Day. So it came from Canada's Labor Day. Um,
So it's not even American; it's Canadian.
well, supposedly, as the story goes, as be it written down in the pages, um, the apparently a bunch of folks went and saw the Labor Day was a brainchild of Peter J. McGuire. He was a vice president of the American Federation of Labor who visited Toronto, and theirs is built. Toronto's is reflective of May Day, which is honestly a social and communist concoction from
Yikes!
Europe. So yeah, dude, its origin is not great, but ultimately, it's to respect the labors of the people of its time.
I just feel like nowadays, you know, I understand we can get it off, but like nowadays, we're not like there are people out there that do a lot of hard labor, and I give them that. I respect them for that, and I thank them for
Yeah,
that because I don't have to do
100%.
it. But like I feel like at least 50% of the population is not doing like hard aggressive labor. You know what I mean?
I would say it's probably a little more than that, to believe it or not. I mean, you're right, 50%, but I mean, dude, there's a lot of especially around us, like certain things that may not seem extreme labor are extremely laborious,
Yeah,
laborious in extreme conditions.
yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I'm just like here's the other thing that I wanted to get into about this is school just started.
mhm.
Like some people have been back for like 2 weeks. I myself have been back for 1 week. This is actually my first week of college, and now I get a Monday off immediately. And this is just like it's not really the only time this has ever happened. Obviously, it happens every year around this time, but like I feel like it happens also in
right around
January.
right around Labor Day, I would say.
No,
That's
well,
normally,
it
but
sneaks
yeah,
up on me, you know.
every
But
time.
right around like January or like I remember a few years ago our nieces were like, "Oh, we have Christmas break and then we go back for like 3 weeks and we have winter break."
Yeah,
And
I do
then
remember that.
after winter break, it's like a week and then they had spring break. And I'm just like, what is even happening? Like you can't even teach kids when the only thing they're thinking about is I'm only here for this week.
Well, here's my thing. I don't remember us. I was actually going to make this comment before you kind of shed light on it with that, but I remember going back. I was having this conversation because obviously we have kids, but I was having this conversation with Katie the other day. I was like, dude, I remember going back to school like the 29 to your comment. We used to go back to school like the 27th, the 29th of August. It was always like very at the
Yeah.
end. And then it would be like a week, and then we would have the Monday off for Labor Day, right?
Yeah.
But we would also like we would not only would we go late August, but we would get out like Memorial Day.
Yeah, it's like the end of May we would get out.
Yeah, okay. Now they're going back like first week of August. And because they have a fucking fall break, a winter break, a Christmas break, a spring break, a mid spring, pre summer, post testing, pre Memorial Day fucking break,
Yeah.
they don't get out until like the middle of June.
I know.
Screw that. Going back in the beginning of August, and I know that this is counterintuitive to the whole principle I just made earlier about kids are miserable during the summer, but they go back this first week of August and they don't get out till the middle of June. Screw that. Cut the fall break, which we never had.
Yeah.
Cut the winter break, which we never had. We had a spring break and we got out for Christmas.
Yeah. And you
Other
got
than
3 days for Thanksgiving.
yep.
That was
And
it.
and and the thing is that we could get out what seemingly was a month earlier. It felt like we had an extra month of summer if you
We
add a
did have an
couple of
extra
weeks.
month of summer.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We had an extra month of summer. It was a 3 month summer. And now it's
So
like 9 weeks or something. No, not
which I
even.
mean
It's like 8 weeks. It's 2 months.
So I mean, I guess it's bad. Like I guess
Mhm.
that's a good thing. I mean, I don't know because like they, I think is it the Japanese or the I'm not trying to okay, but like they go year round, but they
A
take
lot of
months off or something. Like they like work for 6 months and then they take like 2 months off and then they work for 6 months and they take so like
people. I think there's places in like the United States that do that.
really school
Yeah,
systems.
I think in Utah people do like eight on,
Yeah, Utah
8 on,
doesn't
and
count. I need a valid
okay.
state and
Well,
or valid proposal of
I don't know. That's just what I was told. I
bro, you're
think.
gonna try to defend yourself and you're coming with fucking Utah, bruh. That was as soon as you open your mouth, I was like, this is an irrelevant statement. But either way,
It's still a
so no
place.
relevant state. I know, but no relevant states that do this though.
Not. I mean, I don't know. I've just had someone tell me, you know. that's what they did in Utah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, but either way, maybe it is more effective. You know, but
I don't think it. I think. I mean, I don't think it is. No, I disagree with it. I think do the long summer. I think the long summer is just a better idea.
why summer at all though?
I don't know. That's a
No, I
good
mean,
point.
I'm not. That sounded terrible to say because obviously I've been very upfront and honest about how difficult summers are.
I think
But
it's
why?
mainly for I think it's mainly for teachers.
So they don't have to work like everyone else does the rest of the year. Like, I mean, I'm
I don't
not
know.
calling teachers out. I'm not calling you. They're owed it. Trust me.
Yeah.
But
Well, they already don't make enough
there's
money, you know.
I get it, but I get okay. You're right, and I agree with that
They at least
entirely.
deserve 2 months of vacation.
Okay, maybe that's the justification. I want to Google like why it is that we take off for summers because that's not a thing in any other profession. And like I said, they're owed it. They're owed it 100%.
I don't
But
know.
it's just weird to me, right?
Yeah, I don't
It
know
has to
why it
be linked
is.
to like farming seasons, growing seasons.
Oh,
It
you
has
know
to
what it
be.
probably is. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're probably right. It has to be linked to something like that. Um, because yeah, I mean, we could graduate earlier than we could finish schooling so much earlier if we didn't take summers off. This is what people don't understand. You know what I mean?
But why would you like why is that necessary though?
Finish
I don't
school
think that
earlier than earlier.
yeah.
Get stuff done. Like that's what a lot of people are like. I don't really want to take summer classes, and I'm like, bruh, I can be finished a half a year earlier than I would have been. Yes, please. You know what I mean? Let me
Yeah.
move on with my life. I don't want to do that any longer than I have to, type thing. And like, I don't know, like summer school is clearly different, but
Yeah,
if I could advance quicker, hell yeah.
but it wouldn't okay, but I get what you're saying, but like it wouldn't be quicker if everyone else was doing it. See what I'm
I'm just
saying?
saying quicker than it is now.
Oh,
We could
yeah.
graduate like if we did summers instead of taking summers off and K through 12, we could finish high school when we're like 16,
Yeah.
you know? There's also, I mean, there's probably a lot of logistics that we're not looking at, but probably a lot to do with like your brain development and stuff. I don't know.
No, has nothing to do. Are you talking about taking summers off?
No. I just mean like why we wait to finish high school until we're like 18.
I think it is a maturity thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's a bunch of, by the way, this is a topic that you don't just get one answer for. Apparently, everyone has an opinion, and since nobody can be
Oh,
100%
I
valid,
imagine.
but I would say the one that I agree with the most. Let me just make a judgment call on what I've read. Some of them say, which doesn't make any sense to me, but the more in rural areas, the more labor intensive times of the year were late spring.
Okay.
Why we get out for summer, I don't know, but that was their reasoning. So, oh, we get out for summer because it's labor intensive in the spring. Wouldn't you fucking give them spring off? Then I don't know. Anyway, that was the
Maybe so
example
they had
there.
like time off after all the labor.
The labor didn't stop. They just didn't go to school.
Right, but I'm saying like after the really labor intensive time, then they would at least not have to go to school after that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The dots don't connect. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, okay. The other one, this makes a lot more sense. In as cities got denser, they got hotter because of all
Okay.
the concrete and bricks and all that. Um, and so a lot of folks in America would leave during the hot summer months to go to the cooler countryside. And because school attendance wasn't mandatory back then, classrooms were half empty anyways. That seems to hold water, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to hold more water for sure.
So basically, the school legislators were like, "Hey, if you can't beat them, join them, and we'll save some cash."
And if you can't join them, teach gym.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah.
that's why summer breaks are. I forgot how we got here, but you guys enjoyed that.
That is interesting. But it doesn't explain all the extra breaks they get now.
No, no, that doesn't explain. I would rather longer summer and less breaks. Like, just get it done.
Yeah. I will say also, now that I have once you experience college breaks, like breaks from college, you have your winter breaks are like 7 weeks, almost
Is
two
it that
months.
long?
It's long, dude. It's like, for me at least, it's always been like I turn in my finals like December 8th, and I don't go back until like January 20th. So I guess
Yeah,
it's like 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
I guess I don't really remember. I don't remember. I worked every day in
Yeah.
between, so I don't really. I mean, I remember not going to school during that time, but I don't really remember how long the breaks were. I guess I didn't
Well,
really pay attention. They were significantly longer than being in like regular school, elementary and
yeah.
secondary and all that. But
But it's like, our neighbors now, we go over there and I'm like, "Oh, are y'all liking Christmas break?" And they're like, "Oh, we don't get out for Christmas until like the day before Christmas."
yeah,
And I'm like Christmas Eve? You don't you like you still got to go to school on December 23rd? They're like, "Yeah, it's
yeah,
a half
because
day though." And I'm like,
yeah,
"What the
it's because they
heck?"
get 17 other weeks off throughout the fucking year.
I
That's
know
why.
that's so. I feel like when we were in school, we used to get that whole week. Like if Christmas fell on a Friday, we would get that entire week off of school. I feel like before.
No, we got longer than that because you would get the whole. You always got through the second or third of January at a minimum.
Yeah, but I'm talking about before. And
Oh
like
yeah,
if
yeah.
Christmas fell on like a Monday, we would get like Thursday. Like it would be like a
Hmm.
half day the Wednesday before.
Yeah,
You would have
and I
like a
think
whole
that,
week off before.
and I think that is kind of like the if you can't beat them, join them because there were a lot of people that went out of town for
That's what I'm saying.
Christmas. Yeah.
Like that's why to me it doesn't really make sense to, I don't know. Like I would much rather have a longer Christmas break, cuz let's be real, dude. You're like, and they go back earlier too now, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that ours was. It was always like the sixth. It's like the first full week after the first, right?
You think so?
Yeah, I believe so.
Maybe I'm just misremembering that. Or maybe I'm thinking of like sometimes we would have like snow days, what was
Yeah,
snow days here? It was like ice days that would
ice
like keep us
days.
out a little
Yeah.
bit longer. But I don't know. I just remember things being time being a lot longer then, and maybe it's just because my brain is so skewed now to college breaks, but I just remember being out longer for Christmas and thinking like I would much rather have that than have three other breaks throughout the year.
Oh, we definitely got the full. We definitely got the full week, regardless of when Christmas fell. So yeah, that made it probably seem longer. But I agree. There's no way that I would want to have a bunch of little smaller breaks throughout the year.
No, but I'm also someone that like when school started, I got in a groove and I did not want to be budged from my groove and my routine. And anytime I would, it would be like harder to get back into the swing of things. You know what I mean? And like having that many breaks from school, I'd be like, well, when am I gonna get this stuff done? When do I need to get this stuff done? Type thing. You know what I mean?
I can't really remember, man. I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't until like the last probably 2 or 3 years I could remember very specific things up until about 3 years ago, and now I can give you like sometimes the rough gist, but that's it.
I mean, I think that's just how it happens.
Maybe I hope so. Otherwise, it's just some terrible disease that's set in. It's fucking eating my mind alive. But like I just feel like I could like name specific people that sat in specific desks in like middle school up until like 3 years ago. And now I'm like, I'm pretty sure. that I went to that school. I think. You know what I mean?
I think I had that class.
Yeah, like,
Did I take a geometry class in high
dude,
school?
I
I don't think
all
I
the
did.
time people. I mean, I'm terrible with names, right? But now I don't even like. I'm not even remotely close, like with anything. It's bad. It's bad. Or like they'll be like, "Hey, do you remember X, Y, and Z?" And I'm like, "That's not a thing. That didn't exist." And they're like, "Yeah, sure it did." And then they'll show me a picture, and I'm like, "I'll be damn, that did." You know what I mean? So I couldn't tell you how breaks worked or how I felt about breaks, but
No, I still experience them via college, so I'm living through it still. But it does still blow my mind where I've been back for literally this is my fourth day of school and I have Monday off. And I'm just kind of like
little breaky poo
why didn't we just start
afterwards.
the Tuesday after Labor Day? Why didn't we
That's a
just
good point. Um, all the schools around here, I think pretty much everywhere, they always start in the middle of the week.
Yeah, that's also
And
weird to me.
I know, but I think it's so if there's a system, somebody explained this to me the other day. If there's a system that's screwed up, like a bus route or something like that, or whatever, then it's only screwed up for a short period of time at the beginning of the year,
And then
and
they
they have
fix
the
it.
weekend to get it corrected. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. See, this is the first semester for me in all of my college that it started on a Monday instead
Yeah,
of a
that's
Wednesday.
for the birds. Like that.
It was really weird. I was actually really surprised. It's always been on a Wednesday, and it is what it is, though. I guess it's just something I've thought about a lot. Why breaks right away?
I mean, maybe they just can't. Well, here's the thing: if they fucking hold out any longer, then they won't be getting out till after the week after July 4th.
That's okay.
You know what I mean?
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. All right. Well, we need to get into the WWYBDs.
You want to go first?
Uh, yeah, I can.
Go ahead.
Um, I really, I mean, this is just, it's, I mean this in the most sincere way, is it's just like a generic beer to me.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
get it.
Um, and that's not, I mean, it scores well for me, but it's just a generic tasting beer. So I'm just doing kind of a generic thing. This is really just a TV beer for me.
Yeah.
Just a couch beer. You know what I mean? I'm chilling. I it's not I'm not even watching sports necessarily. This is like a beer I'm drinking when I'm watching some reruns. And I'm not saying that cuz it's King of the Hill, but
But just
it
everyday beer.
yeah, just this is just kind of like an everyday chill on the couch watching TV brainlessly beer.
I feel you. I kind of get that same exact vibe. I didn't have like it's not a TV watching. I'm not that I would be against it watching it on TV or watching TV with it. Um, but mine's more like, for some reason, I think of like, those glass topped they're not picnic tables, but they're glass top. They got the metal frame around them. They got four chairs, and
Mm.
there's usually an umbrella that goes right
Oh
through the
yeah.
center of them. And
They're like
then
a
during
rounded square shape.
Yeah, a rounded off square shape. And then like seasonally, they get fucking. I don't know why those things are like a magnet for pollen, but
Oh,
it
they just
just
turn green straight up.
yeah. And then they
Green
kind of get
shadow.
tacky, and I just can see myself setting this can, not when it's super hot outside, but I set it down, and obviously the condensate is going to mix with the pollen and just create a mess on there.
Yeah.
I see myself drinking that at that table. I don't know.
Mm.
Again, not super hot outside, not super cold. Just any other day that's not summer.
You're not wiping the table off first where you're setting the beer down?
Bro, you always tell yourself that you will, but you fucking forget. And then
A
dude.
napkin.
The other thing is, once that shit gets wet, like it's a lost cause because then you're gonna try to wipe it up, and you're gonna get it on your hand. You're gonna get it on napkins. It's gonna get on your shirt. You're gonna try to throw it away. It's gonna be. It's just. You might as
Yeah.
well, as soon as you get that stuff wet, you might as well just go ahead and soak yourself down with glue and just roll around in it because you're going to end up that way anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Pollen gets freaking everywhere.
Dude, it's like, what is the saying? A court would paint a battleship? Because that shit just gets everywhere.
No,
That's how pollen is.
it's nature's Frank's Red Hot.
Yes. They put that
Mother
shit on everything.
Mother Nature puts that shit on everything.
Dude, yeah, all the jokes, they're like, is it fall yet? And they're like, you mean the great pollinating? Or whatever, spring. I don't even really remember when pollen comes out. It's springtime, isn't
Spring.
it?
Yeah, spring.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Okay.
get into the ratings.
So I'll go first. I think all around very solid.
Yeah.
So entry, yeah. I mean, it's not okay. Real quick, not a fridge sitter. Will recommend. Um, and also like I don't want to say the branding is great, but it didn't make a difference. You know what I mean?
No.
I think the can could have been just like, and maybe that's what they were going for because they drink Alamo, right? That's what they drink in the
Yeah,
series, but it's
I
just a
think so.
generic beer. Anyway, entry I've coming in at a 4, a little better than just straight down the old uprights. Aftertaste finishes at a 4, comes in strong, finishes strong, very little change. Body, I have a 4. It sits heavier than I thought it would have at a 4.5. You know,
Yes.
and at a 24 IBU, it's more mellow, but like it's there. So body, I've got a 4. Color, I've got a 3. And again, no disrespect, but it's just like, what I expect would come out of a generic can. Maybe a little bit darker than, generic, but yeah, color, I got a 3. Bitterness, acidity, right where they should be. I've got them at a 3. And then fizz, I have it a 4. I was a little more belchier, but also I ate, oh man, and this is a whole different topic for another day, but I ate a frozen burrito before, which is just a bad
Oh,
decision in general. Yeah, I know.
I,
Just a bad decision in general. First off, why are they fucking still making them and people are still buying them? They're not enjoyable. You know what I mean? I don't understand. And we all fall victim
well,
to
hold
it.
on. I don't know about not enjoyable.
Dude, they're not. Okay, I'm not going to say they're not
They're
enjoyable.
enjoyable in the moment.
Well, they're still not great. It's like, what do they call it? Poverty nachos? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, where
just
it's just
fucking
grated
nachos,
cheese and
grated cheese. They're terrible, but you're never too good for them. I mean, every now and then you're like, oh hell yeah,
oh
that's, you know what
yeah.
I mean. And I think that's why the frozen burritos stay in business. But anyways, fizz I got a 4, brings me to a total overall score of 26. Yeah, so again, solid. Not gonna fridge sit. Will recommend.
It's funny that you bring up a frozen burrito because this morning I had 2 corn dogs.
Fucking same difference, bro. They're not great, but I don't
Oh,
know. Corn dogs are better than frozen burritos. Like you're getting more bang for your buck out of it. They're not great, but
I don't know. These ones were a little suspect.
were they?
Yeah, man. I don't know. Um, so surprise, surprise. We're pretty much the same on
Surprise,
all our
surprise.
reasonings. I have entry and aftertaste at a 4 as well. I think it's a little better than average. From my memory. Body, I do have it a 5. I think it has a nice flavor. Uh, but like it has a nice entering flavor, and the aftertaste is, like right off the rip, it tastes great.
I got you.
And
But
then
it degrades.
I'll explain in a little bit.
Okay.
Color, I have it a 4. Again, you're gonna have to take my color with a grain of salt because I'm looking through a camera to see it.
It
Um,
easily could be. It's good.
yeah. Bitterness, I do have at a 5. I think it's a solid bitterness for a lager. I like it, but acidity, I have at a 3, and I think it's a little bit too sweet on the end for what I'm wanting from like a lager. I don't know how many hells I've had, so it's hard for me to compare. But yeah, it's just a little bit too sweet. And then fizz, I have a 4. Um, I had a bunch of rice for dinner and broccoli, and
Just like fucking white rice.
Well, I mean, I had beef tips and rice, and
Okay.
then some broccoli as well, and that just makes me really gassy. So I was burping a lot, anyways. But the burps tasted nice because of the beer, you know.
Yeah.
So my total is a 29.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, not a fridge sitter. I would get again. I would get again simply just for the laughs of giving it to someone and being like, "Here, you want a King of the Hell?"
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that'd be fun. Also, yes, this for 4.5, this hit me a lot harder than I was expecting it to,
Yeah.
um, which is a good thing, but also maybe not a great thing. You know?
Oh yeah. It yeah. Also, yeah, it comes in heavier. I will say this though. It carried the 20, which that's not crazy, but it carried the 24 IBUs well.
It very much did. It gives me it gives me just enough hoppiness that I think I want in like a lot. That's why I gave it such a high score on bitterness because
Oh,
it's
it made me very happy.
I was a very hoppy man, very hoppy.
Yes.
But yeah, that's why I got such a high bitterness score from me. Uh, it's right there. I like it a lot.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. All right, we have gotten to that point in the podcast where I'm gonna tell you to go follow us on social media on Twitter and TikTok at Off the Tap Pod, and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Off the Tap Podcast.
Regardless of your reservations about will it be as good, go out and get some. Try it.